All right. Call hello, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of Ruel. I am not a member. Excuse me. However, I've entered into their labors. Peace, mercy, and blessings to the sincere brothers and sisters, students, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. I just happen to every so often I check RT News, and usually the top stories aren't always like this, and this is just talks about it. Boom. You see, these are the top stories right here. So I was like, you know what? Let's let's see what we can dig. So I haven't read through any of these yet, but we're just gonna scroll through them. And before we get started, the reason, right? We'll get Isaiah 62:6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, or mention of Yahweh, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. And we know in order to get there, there are there are certain key prophecies and certain woes and troubles that have to come to pass first. We know we need to do and go through all of these things and be privy and be witness and be in the midst, yet be kept through all of those things before we can be made a praise in the earth, especially Yahushua coming down and getting his get back before anything else. All right, the Lord has sworn by his right hand and by the arm of his strength, surely I will no more give thy corn to be meat for thine enemies, and the sons of the stranger shall not drink thy wine, for which thou hast labored. And as it stands, that is what it's currently doing. You work for a wage, and that wage strictly goes to all of your bills. You have no money for anything, pretty much. Well, for most of us, that's how it goes. You got money to go to work and pay your bills, right? And if I don't know, if you even tried, I've tried growing my own food. It's not as easy as it once was before. A lot of the seeds are dead. A lot of these things are modified to where they do not reproduce, which, they shouldn't be doing, but that's another story for another day, another lesson. Um, Everything that is built up by the Israelites, be it northern or southern kingdom, northern and or southern kingdom, right? So all of our strength has gone into building up this devil's heaven, this devil's paradise. Everything that we had has been taken, but no more. Now they are going to be rendering unto us everything that they have, and the earth will be under righteous rulership. But first must come that third woe, right? And things that are put in you so you can buy and sell and all that other stuff, right? So let's scroll through it, see what we can glean, and then that will be the video. I'm just on here trying to spread a little awareness. I don't want to uh go too deep. That's what I couldn't think of the word. All right, so and pose some questions as well. All right, so Baltic states have ruled out the possibility of accepting Russian draft dodgers or granting them asylum after Moscow announced a partial mobilization on Wednesday. So what I don't actually let's see. Let's let me get a second window. So let's see what we got. What this partial? No, go away. Definitely not paying. Oh, you can't. Come on, dog. I guess you can't see it. I guess you gotta pay to be informed, huh? Okay. Versus whatever. All right. Don't even worry about it. We'll let's see. I just want to get a little backstory on what exactly this 144 call like Yahweh Bashmel Shai. Little backstory on what this is going on, right? Now, immediate partial mobilization of citizens on Wednesday and move that threatens to escalate his faltering invasion All right, following string of defeats that cause recrimination in Moscow. Putin says in a speech that he would use all means at our disposal, even raise the specter of nuclear weapons if he deemed territorial integrity of Russia to be jeopardized. All right, the mobilization means citizens who are in the reserve could be called up, and that's what I want to make sure. So they're getting those reserves ready. And what do you think? Let's say over here in Babylon the Great, there's a partial mobilization. I wonder where people can run to. All right, I wouldn't know, but I wonder where people could run to where they can be draft dodgers and be okay. Because I feel like um, if they run into South America or Central America, especially if you're an E, I think you're going to be chased. Or the Lord will have it to where you can't escape your judgment, or you'll meet your judgment there. Let's see. Will not issue humanitarian visa. Okay. All right. What else we got? If you try to tell me now that hundreds of thousands have suddenly received a religious divine revelation that it is not good to go to war, to write about the destruction of Ukraine on social networks, then I think no one will accept these arguments. He said, "That's interesting." Okay, so we'll move on to the next one. I just thought that was, I wanted to see what that was about. So Russia cannot win, and so NATO is saying they can't win. Where NATO has told Moscow very clearly, all right, eastern border, remove any room. Hmm. All right, this is dangerous and reckless nuclear rhetoric. All right, so notice that it is being talked about more and more. Hey, we got to go. I think it's Matthew 25, but we'll just type in rumors. Did I not spell that? Old English. There we go. Matthew 24. All right, so that's 24 and 6. We'll just go straight to the point. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, right? And like in the beginning of the beginning of the video, I read the scripture um, about Jerusalem being appraised and basically the salvation coming, but all of these things have to happen, and these rumors are ramping up, and now what was once a taboo word to say is just being said quite a bit. You hear a lot of talk about nuclear this and nuclear that. So far, we are not seeing any changes in the posture, but NATO is monitoring very closely if that changes. Okay. So next one, let's see what we got. So U.S. is taking that comment seriously. Washington has slammed as irresponsible a recent warning by President Vladimir Putin. Russia's prepared to use any means necessary. So you see that old spirits being drawn up, that old USSR spirits being drawn up, because these people are not playing, and it's been a while since the whore that rides on the back of the beast, or the beast and the whore. It's been a while since they've had somebody to challenge them. Usually, they've been invading these countries without a true standing army or an organized military. They just invade these places with superior technology. But now, when you have someone who has an army, just as you have an army, has a standing and have weapons and technology just as you have it, and they're not playing right, you got a different story. Now you got these things that are starting to ramp up, and that is really just the spirit I'm trying to push is pay attention because things are ramping up. You know what? Tarry. Is it T? How about that? Because I can't remember exactly where. Though with Tarry. Maybe it's in Revelation. But if I tarry, nope, I can't find it because that is exactly what I'm looking for. Mm, though it tarry. Yes, Habakkuk 2 and 3. I don't know why I couldn't find that. Straight to. Let's start. We'll start at 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer, and when I am reproved. And what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. All right, so when these rumors stop being rumors, all right, that appointed time, just to kind of equate that to what we're reading here. When it's time, it's time. So it's only gonna be so long where these things are just words. All right, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So when it's time for the tarrying to be done, the word the Lord, when he sends his word forward, it does not return unto him void. So these things are happening, they will happen, and it's talk right now. You see, it's just all about what's pop. Well, this is the popping. This is the in thing right now. These mobilizations, these cost of living. So you have infighting within these nations because of their corrupt leadership, and then you have the kingdom against kingdom and nation against nation because the Lord is stirring these men up. The Lord is stirring these nations. The Lord is stirring these kings up to fulfill what is written in prophecy. Let's see. Wait, we are to take this kind of rhetoric, but condemn Putin's reference to use nuclear weapons, adding that it is irresponsible rhetoric and nuclear power to rhetoric for a nuclear power to talk that way. And that he is. That's a part of it. All right, he's fighting the entire Western military machine. Russian leader said the West is openly pursuing a military defeat of Russia and are seeking to push the country into insignificance and loot its natural wealth, which is the MO. But also, smoother than butter. Was that Psalms? Uh, but war was in his heart. War was in his heart. Yes, that's what we need. It is Psalms 55 and 21. I'll scroll right by it. But you see how it's pretending to be civil, but in the background, and they do control the media that we see here. So you see, it's dangerous to speak that way. This is not what we want. Yet their actions scream, "We want a war." In the event Russia does decide to deploy nuclear weapons, Kirby warned that there would be severe consequences for Moscow, referring to a previous statement U.S. President Joe Biden in which he urged Russia to avoid using them, saying it would change the face of the war, unlike anything since World War II. And I mean, because that will be the third one. The third woe cometh quickly. Let me get this real quick. Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And to liken this unto what's going on now, they have all these sanctions, and they're poking the bear. Pun intended. They are literally poking the bear. Um, and making it seem like the bear is the aggressor, but the beast and the whore is actually the aggressor, or really the whore is the aggressor. And I, me speaking as a man, humbly, I think that this will play into the beast hating the whore and burning her with fire, according to the book of Jeremiah. I believe it's chapter 50 or chapter 51. Um, because of its aggressive tactics, and it's costing the EU and NATO. It's costing them money, it's costing them resources, and it is really taking a toll on the people. So more to come. We know in part, we prophesy in part. So, and I'm not a prophet, but I am given some. I was given a talent. I don't think I was given three for sure. I wasn't given three, but I was given a talent, and I can understand some things and put some things together. So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that's why I say I speak humbly, and that may be one of the factors that caused Jeremiah's words to come to pass, or Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's words he spoke through Jeremiah to come to pass. All right, West wants to partition Russia like the U.S. Okay, got the little split map. Russia is under an attack by the West, which wants the country to be broken up into warring pieces because that is how they do. They cause the infighting and then come in. President Vladimir Putin has claimed the Western goal is to weaken, disunite, and ultimately destroy our nation. They are saying directly that they managed to break up the Soviet in 91, and now it's time for Russia itself to be split into many regions that would be at each other's throats. The Russian leader stated that in a televised address on Wednesday. So it seems like he minces no words, unlike our people, or not our people, but unlike our so-called appointed leaders. We see Vladimir, Mr. Putin, he seems to not mince any words. Yep, for decades, that propaganda machine, right? In the West turned to Ukraine cannon fodder and pushed them to war against our country, Putin said. And he stated that the ongoing conflict started in 2014. And let's see, when an armed coup in Kiev toppled Ukraine's elected government, which is interesting because if you go find it for yourself, but you'll notice that that is a MO, especially with a three-letter agency, that they go and they infiltrate these places and they incite riots and they get a hold of the media and they put things on the radio and put things in newspapers and stir the mind of the people, and then you have plants that go and uh, infiltrate from the inside. We'll leave it at that. This is a very well known tactic. They've done it in many nations. Many nations. All right, we're going on 20 minutes, so let's see what else we got. Okay. All right. Okay. So basically, um, yeah, Matthew 24, you'll start to see that these rumors are ramping up. There's more and more talks. I think that's all we need on this here. But just, the reason is just to, for you, if you, just to keep your eyes open. All right. So let me see. Romania is very keen to acquire Iron Dome missile on Tuesday, regardless of whether the sale goes through or not. Romanian Defense Minister He wants to step up the weapon purchase from the from the state. Remain his interest in the deal, which would make it the first NATO country to field the system, was attributed by Hart to anonymous source. Okay, well, the Iron Dome was first deployed, and if you were actually who you say you were, you, you wouldn't need that. That doesn't fit with what the Bible says the children of Israel will be doing when they were in the land. But you find that one. You find that one. You go find that on your own. Whoever sees this, you find that. Okay, so we'll end off here. I think it's 5:15 now. We'll end it off here because I don't want to keep talking. I don't have enough scriptures. I just wanted to go. I didn't have anything lined up, but I did want to point some things out. Ephesians 5:15 or 14. Wherefore he saith, Awake thou that sleepeth, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light. Wait. I wonder if that word light means anything about knowledge or like some sort of understanding.
Strong's G 2017. Epiphausko.
To shine upon Hamashiach will pour upon you divine truth as the sun gives light. Damn it. As the sun gives light to men aroused from sleep, or raised or aroused from sleep. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. Wonderfully put. Verse 15, See thou that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil that they are. Because Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And that is imperative for us to understand his will, because if you do your best to do his will, you ain't gonna get caught up in those war, the pestilence and the famine and the things that we read in Matthew chapter 24, when it was the very beginning of sorrows. Be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. Let's see. Okay, but yeah. So yeah, that's what we got. Keep watching, keep praying, fast if you fast. Make sure you're repenting sincerely and then looking back and 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 making sure that you are lining yourself up for success, or should I say lining yourself up for salvation, right? So be repentant, be humble, be contrite, and do what you need to do, whatever that is, whatever that means, within the spirit, do what you need to do. So with that being said, Shalom.